So good afternoon, very good afternoon, all of you. How are you all, guys? Yeah, Diya, Kavya, Praneeth, Prasad, and everyone. Good afternoon, guys. How are you all? Everyone, how are you? Right. So all of you, Supriya, good afternoon. So all of you had your lunch. Everyone had your lunch or not? Everyone had your lunch? Yes. Okay. Very good. Very good. Right. So how are you after class? Are you late? Okay. Yeah. Good afternoon, Supriya. Right. So here we'll be going for this general. I told you na, as I said, we'll be continuing only which one this general topics, right? In these special classes and these YouTube free YouTube classes, you can say, and we'll be doing in the plus classes. We'll be doing only the technical part, you can say. Okay, right? Yeah, after long time, yeah, after long time attending the classes. Okay, very good, very good. Right, but continue attending the classes. That is important. So maintaining the continuity is very important, you can say. Okay, and coming to our class, quick polity, right? So whenever you are going for this polity, so the polity subject will be very important, you can say. So without questions from these, right? Without questions from this topic, you will not be having any general question, right? So Saurav, good afternoon. Yeah. First, what I'll do is I'll just have a quick look that in introductory part I'll be having. So just introduction to our constitution and what are there in our constitution and all these things, right? So in detailed discussion will be going after this is over, right? So every week what I'm doing, so one day the general subject, right? One day current affairs, and what is another day? Another day that computers. Is now I told you right already. So 5 days I'll be taking five different subjects, you can say. Okay, 5 days I'll be taking five different things, right? Clear now? So here we'll be going for this polity today, right? Full syllabus I'll be doing it, right? Full syllabus I'll be doing it. Don't worry. Okay. Now, so before that, so there is an offer of 55 percentage. Up to 55 percentage subscription on your plus subscription you'll be getting with 4 months extra on your subscription. When you are taking 6 months 2 months extra, 12 months 3 months, 24 months 4 months you'll be getting, and this offer is valid up to which one? This October 28th only. You just inform to all your friends, juniors and everybody so that they will not be missing this, right? Now so this is the new batch is going to start, all of you, right? New batch is going to start. At in this new batch what I am going to start is I'll be starting highway engineering, right? I asked you only, so you said highway engineering, you asked me to start. I'll be starting that highway engineer only, right? You have to attend the classes regularly, right? Some class 0% are present in the class. Okay, so you are paying money na, when you are paying money you have to utilize this definitely, right? So just paying the money and waiting until the subscription, is it required? It is just a waste of money na, is na. So when you are taking subscription means utilize that, right? So when you are taking 1 year na, so you can attend the complete subjects 2 times, right? 2 years if you are taking na, 4 times 5 times you have to complete, right? When you complete each and every subject 3 times 4 times, right? How much how many marks you will be getting, you imagine, right? So you can get how many marks you want now, you can become the top ranker, right? So don't miss the classes. Live classes are very important, you can say. Okay, right? So this is on this Airport Authority of India Junior also, Junior Executive also, right? This one is available, you can say. This one is available, you can say, right? This 45% discount is available on this also. So this is 3 plus 1, 6 plus 2 and 12 plus 3, but it is which one? Recorded one only available, right? Only that a recorded version is available for this. Okay, now RP civil is the code you have to use, right? Airport Authority of India, right? These are all the things you are having. So this is a recorded batch you are having. So what is the code you have to use always? RP civil is the code you have to use always, right? And so there is a mock test you will be having on 22nd. One mock test was completed. How many of you attended this mock test on 22nd? Again you will be having this mock test on which one? This again you will be having this mock test on which one? This is 29th October. Have you attended this mock test or not? SSC JE. Many people are asking for this test. No, not attended. So don't miss this 29th one. Okay, don't miss this 29th one. So just after 2 days you'll be having, right, civil 11 a.m. to that 1 p.m. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. right, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. But okay, I'll be sharing you the link, don't worry. I'll share you the link in the, I'll tell you in the group, right, in the plus group I'll be informing you, don't worry. So there is which one, based on this scholarship on this mock test now, you'll be based on the rank you are getting, this is the percentage discount on your subscription fee you are getting, right? So don't miss this, all of you. So these are all the features of this plus subscription, you know, right? These are all toppers we are having. Now coming to this, first of all, what is that polity will be discussing about? What is that polity subject is related to? Tell me. What is that a polity subject is related to? So you know, geography, whenever I say geography means what, it is related to this geographical conditions and which type of rivers are there, where is there, which type of terrains are there, so temperatures how they are there, right? So which type of soils are there at which location, right? Like that, those kind of details will be getting in the terrain topography, all these things. And whenever it is economy means, you will be talking about this money, GDP, GST and all these things you will be talking about, right? Is not. But whenever it is related to this polity, what we'll be talking about, if you just observe, Indian polity. So mainly we will be talking about which one, this constitution, right? If you want, right, how the government will be running according to the constitution only, no, is it no? Every government will be running according to which one, they have to run the government according to their will and wish, or they must follow the constitutional provisions, definitely they must have to follow the constitutional provisions, definitely, right? Without following the constitutional provisions, so can they run the government? No. So if they are going anything against the constitution, so then Supreme Court can intervene and they can scold the government and they can guide the government and they can so withdraw some law or whatever it is, right? Like that, some bill or whatever it is, right? So it is Indian polity means, right, it is, we'll be discussing about which one, this Indian constitution mainly. Yes, now in this polity we'll be discussing about which one, this is Indian constitution only, right? Indian constitution, right? Okay, now what is that constitution having? You can say set of rules, right? So what are the different duties of president, right, prime minister, different ministers, right? So what they have to do, and it is giving only the details of this duties of these leaders only? No. Politicians only? No. So it is giving the duty of which one, these administrative bodies also, right? What is the duty of a collector, right? What is the duty of a MRO, right? What is the duty of revenue officer, right? All these kinds of people will be there, not different duties, right? Everything will be defined by this constitution only. And so it is defining the duties and functions of which one, this general citizens also, right? So some people will say that I am having all these rights, but nobody will be showing interest in responsibilities, right? There are certain duties you must be having, right? Every citizen is must be having some duties, right? They are having duties, right? Duties are there, at the same times they will be getting some rights also. Okay. Just a brief explanation, right? They will be having which one, they will be, each and every citizen will be having duties as well as which one, these rights also, right? Generally people will think about only the rights, they will forget about the duties, it's not. But constitution does not allow this one. Okay, you have to perform your duties and you get your rights. How much right you are having to get your rights, so that much responsibility you are having on you to perform your duties, right? So what are the duties and all these things, everything will be discussing, you can say, right? So election process, right, Supreme Court, how it will work, right? All these things, everything will be covered in this polity, you can say, right? Just how to run the government or state or country, whatever it is, right, district, everything will be related to which one, the this polity only. Okay, now here, first of all, what is that constitution, tell me? Constitution, right? What is the meaning of a constitution? Just now I said, so according to constitution only what the things will happen. So based on that, can you define? It is the fundamental law of land, na? It is the fundamental law of what? Land. So it is a fundamental law of land, right? That is a constitution, right? So what it contains, if you just observe what this constitution is containing, law of land means, what is the meaning of this law of land? It is containing what? Set of rules. It is containing which one? Set of rules, right? So what this set of rules will do? According to this set of rules only, the state will be governed or not? Yes or no? Governing of a state, right? State means it is country, right? Now recently the term they are using the state for which one? This country actually, okay? So to wipe off these boundaries like that. So whenever these higher level people are talking, state means that is country. Have you seen whenever S. Jaishankar is talking anytime on the foreign soil? So he'll be using the term which one? That state, right? So that state, this state, right? Like that he'll be mentioning. What is the meaning of this state? It is not the Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh state like that. It is a country actually, right? Set of rules for which purpose? To set of rules which are governed by the state, na? Yes or no? State is governed, right? Set of rules governed by the state, you can say. Yes, you can continue, Sonu Kumar. I did not start anything, just only I have started. Now, here actually, previously what we are having before independence, so Britishers constitution, right? Whatever the British parliament was having, according to that only, yeah, according to that only, right? According to that only, we were ruled, right? Ruled by the Britishers, right? Before that, Mughals were there, and before that, many people there, right? Dutch, all these things. So everybody will be ruling according to their constitution only, right? But now in the present modern India, do you need to study all the old laws of land, or we have to study only whatever it is used now? Only whatever it is used yet present we have to study now, is it no? So can you able to study about this law of this land some 60,000 years back? No, no. 2000 years back it is important? No. At present which one we are using, that is only important, right? At present which one we are using, that is only important, right? As now, so now for the formation of this constitution, so there is a constituent assembly was formed, right? So from this also you will be getting questions mainly. So independent, we have got the independence, right? Then we have to form the constitution for ourselves now, yes or no? For that, just like that, can you form? Some people has to be gathered and they will decide which rules we have to include, which rules we should not include, right? Which duties we have to include and all these things now. So for that there is a constituent assembly formed, if you just observe. Now tell me. So generally, who is the person who put the idea of this constitution forward for the first time? Tell me, in the modern India, just during that independence and at that time, who is that person? Who is that person? Tell me, anyone having idea? The idea of constituent assembly was first coined or first recommended or first put forward by whom? Anyone know the name? Just we should have some constituent assembly for deciding which one to be included, which rules are not to be included. So like that, who said this first? First love letter. Who is that first person? Who is that person? M.N. Roy. Have you heard this name? Have you heard this name, everyone? No, it is not Ambedkar. It is not Ambedkar. It is not Ambedkar. Sonu Kumar. M.N. Roy, right? Okay. M.N. Roy, right? So idea of this constituent assembly, right? Whenever I am mentioning CA means, so who put forward this idea of this constituent assembly? So M.N. Roy put forward the idea of what? Constituent assembly for first time. Okay, is that clear now? Generally many people will be thinking that Ambedkar. It is not Ambedkar. It is which one? RCC. What RCC? So it is which one? M.N. Roy. Okay, M.N. Roy is the first person who put forward the idea of which one? This constituent assembly. M.N. Roy or M.N. Rao, it seems, right? M.N. Rao or Roy, okay, whatever it is. Now, so when this constituent assembly was formed, if you just observe, when this constituent assembly was formed, if you just observe, at that time, which party we were having just before the independence, right? 1930s, 1920s, right? Which party in India we are having? Only that Indian National Congress was there, na? Is that no? Indian National Congress was there, right? So here, Indian National Congress, right? You may get a question like this, right? Indian National Congress has demanded Constituent Assembly in which of the following year, right? So Indian National Congress demanded what? INC is nothing but your Indian National Congress, right? Demanded Constituent Assembly in which year? In this 1935, right? In this 1935 year, right? So now, but when it was included, you can say, but when it is started, Indian National Congress has demanded in this 1935, the first time the idea coined by M.N. Roy. M.N. Roy has coined this idea, and based on that idea, Indian National Congress has put a demand of Constituent Assembly in which one? This 1935 in front of this British government, right? So then, but then, so when this concept is included, concept of this Constituent Assembly was when it is included, if you just observe, there is right. So the concept of this Constituent Assembly is included in which one? Concept. So M.N. Roy has coined the idea first, and Indian National Congress has demanded for Constituent Assembly in 1935. But after which one? After which one you can say concept of this Constituent Assembly was included. Right? When it was started, you can say included in which year? In which year? Anyone tell me? Included in, anyone? August 1940. Okay, August 1940, right? August 1940, right? August 1940, right? You have to be careful. And also, and they have kept it for study, right? So the British government has accepted it for study. And what happens? There is a Cripps proposal, right? When is that Cripps proposal has accepted the inclusion of this Constituent Assembly? Cripps proposal, not proposal, Cripps proposal of 1942. So Cripps has proposed which one? This in 1942 he proposed that okay, it is better we should have which one? This Constituent Assembly. That means India can have Constituent Assembly. They need not follow which one? This British rules, right? And so, and what is the another one, right? Cripps proposal, and also which one? Cabinet mission plan. So this cabinet mission plan also has recommended which one? This included the concept of this Constituent Assembly, right? So when is that cabinet mission plan has requested this one? Cabinet mission plan 1946, right? So after all these efforts, what happens? You can say Constituent Assembly was included, right? So it was started, it was initiated, right? So now you understood what are the activities? 3 activities done. First, M.N. Roy has coined this idea of Constituent Assembly. Here we should have some Constituent Assembly. There some people should be there. So we will be deciding what are the rules to be included, how the constitution will be, right? Now, Indian National Congress has demanded for the same in 1935, and they have put forward the demand, and after that what happens? Cripps proposal has coined this one again. They have recommended this, and cabinet mission plan also accepted this one, right? Like that. Is it clear now? The background of this one, all of you? The background of this one is clear? So cabinet mission plan 1946, right? It was formed, na? Cabinet mission plan is formed, you can say, right? So now as per this cabinet mission plan, as per this cabinet mission plan, what happened? Constituent Assembly is formed, right? Constituent Assembly formed in which year? You can say Constituent Assembly is formed in which year? Everyone, formed in November 1946. Okay, November 1946. That which one? Constituent assembly is formed, right? Constituent assembly is formed, right? Is it clear now? So what is that original one is having, you can say, this is having some elected body, elected persons will be there, as well as which one? This nominated persons will be there. So what is the meaning of these elected persons? By conducting the votes, people will be electing that, okay, this person should be present in the constituent assembly. This person can be present, right? They will be participating in the fight, and whoever gets the majority, that fellow will be present in that, right? Nominated means this governor general, they may be nominating this one, okay? So elected and these nominated persons will be having in the first one, right? Yes, now is it clear? Is it clear the story of this constituent assembly, how it was formed? Everyone, is it clear the story of this constituent assembly, it was formed? Yes, now is it clear everyone? Why others are not responding? Everybody left the class. Only asking sir to start the classes, asking to discuss the general subjects, but not attending the classes. Okay, very good. So now, so what happens? You can say oldest member, right? The Sachidananda Sinha. So here this you have to remember, right? November 46 is the first time when this Constituent Assembly was formed, as per the recommendations of which one? This Cabinet Mission Plan 1946. Okay, as per the recommendations of this Cabinet Mission Plan 1946, Constituent Assembly was formed in November 1946, right? And what type of question? In which of the following year Constituent Assembly was formed? On the recommendations of which? On the recommendations of which the Constituent Assembly is formed? On the recommendations of which it is formed, you can say Cabinet Mission Plan. Cabinet Mission Plan has recommended this, and Constituent Assembly is formed immediately after that, right? So why they have formed at this time only? You understand? Because at that time, what is it you can say? Because they thought of giving the independence at the time, because they have lost, the Britishers lost a lot of money and everything they have lost during the Second World War, you can say, right? So that's why they have given the independence immediately. In return, many of our Indian soldiers also participated in the World Wars. Now, World War I, our Indian soldiers participated. World War II also, Indians participated on behalf of British, you can say, right? So, right. So, Dr. Sachidananda, okay. Dr. Sachidananda Sinha was which one? He was the oldest member of which one? This fellow is the oldest member of which one? This Constituent Assembly, right? Is it clear? This fellow is the oldest member of this Constituent Assembly, and he was elected as a temporary president, right? So oldest member of this Constituent Assembly and temporary president. Now who became the permanent president after that? Who became the permanent president after that? Who became the permanent president? So first we have to start it now. So at the time of this starting, some temporary president was elected. That fellow is Sachidananda Sinha, and after that Dr. Rajendra Prasad, right? Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad is now. So Sachidananda Sinha was elected by the people, or he was just acting president for temporary purpose, acting president for the temporary purpose, right? Yeah. Dr. Babu Rajendra Prasad, he was elected president, right? Okay, he was the elected president, if you just observe, right? Elected president. Now, there is one more person, Sir B.N. Rao. So these names are very, 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 very important, right? Who is this B.N. Rao? Who is this B.N. Rao? He was the constitutional advisor to the assembly, right? Which assembly? Constituent Assembly is there now. So he is acting like an advisor, right? Constituent, right? What is it you can say? Constitutional advisor, right? On the advice of this B.N. Rao only. So that Constituent Assembly was working. They will be selecting. So they will be deciding their targets, right? Okay. So B.N. Rao is which one? constitutional advisor. What is the meaning of this constitutional advisor? He is giving the advice, right? How our constitution should be. Okay, constitutional advisor of what? Constituent assembly, right? Like that. Okay, these persons are also very important, you can say. Yes, now after that what happens? On the advices of this B and Rao, the constitution will be willing to be started, right? Then we have to present that, na? Where we have to present that? We have to present that in the parliament or somewhere, na? Is that no? Who presented this? If you just observe, in a December, right? In which one? In this December 1946. In December 1946, Chacha Nehru, right? What is that? Who is our Chacha Nehru? Jawaharlal Nehru, na? What this Jawaharlal Nehru did? The Jawaharlal Nehru moved the objective resolution, right? Moved which one? Moved the objective resolution, right? What is the meaning of this objective resolution? If you just observe, what is the meaning of this objective resolution? Objective resolution in Constituent Assembly. What does it mean? So Jawaharlal Nehru moved the objective resolution in Constituent Assembly on the advice of which one? This is B.N. Rao, right? B.N. Rao is the advisor and he has given the inputs. And what Jawaharlal Nehru did? He moved the objective resolution in that Constituent Assembly, right? He mentioned our constituents, our constitution must be having these objectives, right? According to these objectives only, every group, every committee has to get their inputs, right? Select their roles, right? Like that. Is it clear now? So means it modified the version. It modified which one, you can say, right? So it is mainly telling about which one? This objective resolution will be corresponding to which one? This is a preamble of this constitution. This is only the main preamble of which one? This is constitution, right? Preamble of which one? This constitution is based on this objective resolution only, right? So now if you observe this different activities are there, so can you expect only one person will be doing all the activities? Is it possible to prepare that much bigger constitution like Indian constitution by a single person? No, not possible, right? That is why what happens now? Different committees are formed. For different committees, different presidents were there. Okay, different chairmen were there, you can say. So what is the feature of this Indian constitution? It is the lengthiest constitution in the entire world, you can say. Most lengthiest constitution in the entire world is which one? This Indian constitution only. And the longest written constitution is also Indian constitution only, right? These are the main features, you can say, right? So name of the important committee. So there are three committees mainly formed, if you just observe. Name of this committee and who is that chairman. So what is that first committee, you can say? Union Powers Committee. Union Powers Committee, right? Union Powers Committee means this is the highest authority, na? Highest authority will be having, that everything will be finally decided by which one? This Union Powers Committee. And who is the chairman of this Union Powers Committee, everyone? Anyone? Anyone? That is Jawaharlal Nehru. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru. And there is a second committee. What is the second committee? Drafting Committee. Drafting Committee, right? Who is the president? Who is the chairman of this drafting committee? This you must be knowing, right? Who is that? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So they will be preparing the draft, right? So what should be the contents, right? Which one we should have, right? So then according to that, other people will be working and they'll be incorporating these rules and regulations, right? Committee on these functions of this Constitutional Assembly. Committee on which one? Committee on functions of this Constituent Assembly, right? What is the meaning of this functions of this Constituent Assembly? This committee will be telling which committee has to do which activity, or which person has to do which activity, right? It's now functions of Constituent Assembly, right? Who is the chairman of this for? Anyone? GV Mavalankar, right? Mavalankar or Mavalankar, right? Like that, is not? So this is your which one, and this is your which one? The brief history of your Indian Constitution, right? Behind the formation of this Indian Constitution, and what happens behind the formation of this Indian Constitution, and these are all the things happened, right? Is it clear now, everyone? Is it clear of you? Right? Now, coming to this, right, if you just go for this salient features of this Indian Constitution, right? What are the salient features, right? Here, which one are important? You can say presidents of each and every chairman, right? Drafting committee chairman is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So, functions of Constituent Assembly committee chairman is G.V. Mavalankar. Union Powers committee chairman is Jawaharlal Nehru. And in 1946, who moved the objective resolution in this Constituent Assembly? Jawaharlal Nehru moved the objective resolution of this Constituent Assembly, you can say, is not? So, and on which recommendations that Constituent Assembly was formed? On the recommendations of which one? On the recommendations of this Cabinet Mission Plan in 1946, that Constituent Assembly was formed, right? It was first proposed by whom? M.N. Roy. Then Indian National Congress has demanded this Constituent Assembly in 1935, right? Got it now? So everyone is clear the brief history of this Indian Constitution formation. Salient features, right? What are the salient features of this Indian Constitution, if you just observe? First one you can say. So when it is the Constitution adopted, that the Constitution adopted in which year? That come into force. Adopted on which one? 26th November, right? 26th November 1949, right? We have adopted this Constitution on which year? 26th November 1949, right? Means it came into force, right? We have accepted, right? People have accepted this Constitution on 26th November 1949, right? Because just in 1 year, is it possible to do work? In 1946, it was formed. Just within 5 months, 2 months, is it easy to form? No, na. So we have to search many things, and we have to decide, right? Our biggest constitution in the world, for writing the biggest constitution, lengthiest constitution in the world, you require 1 year. So that is why they have taken 3 years to finish off this one, right? After 3 years, one final copy was accepted by which one? This Indian government after independence in 1949, right? This date is also very, very important date, okay? It is only adopted or accepted, but is it came into force? It came into force? No, it does not came into force, right? So that Constitution came into force, right? When it came into force, if you just observe, it came into force in which year? On 26th November, right? 26th, which one? January. 26th January 1950. So now you understand why we are celebrating this 26th January as the Republic Day. Now, even though it is accepted, the first draft copy is accepted in 1949, but we did not, what we are doing, we did not, there are a lot of discussions have done, right? So you can see the lot of discussions that you can find in the websites, many websites are there. You can find what are the discussions happened, which person said, who said what, modifications, and all these things you can find. So they have modified and finalized, and that came into force, right? That is applied to the government or applied to the public from which date onwards? 26th January 1950. Okay, from 26th Jan, which one is 1950, right? Is it clear? Right? So next, yeah, what is it now? Tell me, Astosh Kumar. What is it? No? No means what? Actually there is lag of 5 seconds, 10 seconds between these two now. Okay. So what is it you can say? January 26th, right? So January 26th is celebrated as which one? Generally, why January 26th is selected, even though we have accepted this constitution on 26 November 1949, why we have waited for this much time? Everyone tell me. Anyone, what is the reason? What is the reason? Because 19, right? So 1930, right? What is that you can say? 1930 January 26th, right? 1930 January 26th, it was celebrated as which one? Purna Swaraj Day. By which one? Indian National Congress, right? So because actually on this 1930 January 26th, Indian National Congress means at that time that is the only party you are having, that was celebrating the January 26, 1930 as which one? Purna Swaraj Day. So means we are assuming that, so we have got the complete independence, right? So we ourselves declared that, right? So that is why even though constitution is adopted or accepted in November, they have waited for which one? This they have waited for which one? This 2 to 3 years, right? Sorry, 2 to 3 months, right? November, December, January, 2 months they have waited, right? It is 1927 or 1930? It is 1927 or 1930? Okay, let it be whatever it is here, right? But why it is taken as January 26? Now you understood why it is taken as your January 26th, the big background behind this January 26th, you understand or not? 1930 only, right? 1930 only correct, right? 1930 only correct, right? Yes, no? 1930 only. So just to have this one, right? Just to have this one, right? What is that you are having? Just to commemorate this one, we are having which one? This they are waited for this 2 months, and 26 November it came into force, right? Got it now? The background behind this 26 November, yes, no? Right. So what is that you can say? It is the lengthiest written constitution, no? Lengthiest written constitution. Lengthiest which one? This is a written constitution, right? So here, so it is borrowed from which one? It is borrowed from which one? Many features borrowed from which one? Many things borrowed from where? Various constitutions of this world. Okay, various constitutions of world. So from various constitutions of world, we have adopted various things, you can say, right? So you have to be careful, right? So from which constitution, right, which one is adopted, right? That is very, very important, you can say, right? That is very, very important, right? Okay, you have to be very, very careful, right? Right. Now coming to this, right? So this is, you can say, I'll be showing the, don't worry. Next, what is another one you are having? It is having the federal structure, no? Federal structure. What is the meaning of this federal structure? You can say we don't mention our constitution as federal anywhere, but it is having federal in nature, right? That is the feature of this, right? This kind of question also asked many times, you can say. So here we don't mention federal anywhere in the entire constitution. You don't find a single word with the name federal, but that federal activities will be involved, right? What is that you can say? What is the meaning of this federal? Only one level of governance will be there, or different levels of governances will be there? Different levels of governances will be there, na? So for the entire country, who will be taking the decision? That central government will be taking the decision, right? And for the states, that state government, it is under the state government authority. Central government will not involve in that, right? There are certain things, so where central and state government both together can take the decision, right? Like that. So that is how that federal structure, multi-level governance, right? What is the meaning of this federal structure? You can say federal structure is nothing but your single level or this multi-level governance. It is your multi-level governance you are having. Now what is another silent feature? You can say it is the parliamentary form of this government. Okay, it is a parliamentary form of what? Government. So this is another feature, right? Next, what is another feature you are having? Integrated and which one? Independent judiciary. Integrated and this independent judiciary, right? What is the meaning of this integrated and this independent judiciary? Integrated means that judiciary system means this law courts will be there na. Yeah, Supreme Court, this High Court, this Sessions Courts, all these courts are there na. So that is judiciary, right? Who will be inquiring, right? Whether this is happening in a good manner or not, right? Government is doing activities in a good manner or not, right? Yes na. Yes. Here integrated and independent judiciary. Independent judiciary means can anybody control the judiciary system? No. Nobody can control the judiciary system, right? Independent judiciary system, right? And integrated means nobody can control means they can take their own decisions, or they have to take their own decision according to the constitution only. They have to take the decisions and they have to give the judgments according to the constitution only. Yes, no? That is what integrated means. It is a part of the judiciary system, is also part of which one? This is a governance only, right? It is not a separated one. Even though it is integrated with the constitution, but it is an independent judiciary, right? Government cannot control the Supreme Court. Yes, no? Is it clear now? Is it clear now? So now, what are the other things you are having? If you just observe, you'll be having which one? This is a fundamental rights you are having now. So in our constitution, fundamental rights you are having, right? Fundamental rights you are having, right? What are these fundamental rights? Many people, everybody, every citizen in the India will be having which one? These rights, right? What are these different rights? So if you are having any problem for your fundamental rights now, it is a very big national issue, you can say, right? It is very big issue actually, right? So but people don't go for this, right? But it is very big issue, you can say. First one is what? Right to equality. So right to equality is the first, which one? First fundamental right, is no? Second one is what? Right to freedom. Right to equality means everybody will be treated equally, right? Everybody should be treated equally by the government, right? Is not government should not have which one? This is a discriminatory approach to anybody. Okay, every person in the India will be treated. Every person in the India will be treated equally, right? Freedom means everybody is allowed to do their own things, right? Government will not give the rules to how to stay in your house, right? In your house, if government will be saying, yaar, in your house you have to sit at this hall only, in the sofa of the hall only, you cannot sit for more than 15 minutes there, right? You should not watch the TV for 20 minutes daily. You should not eat food more than 3 times. You should not go to this movie 1 week only, maximum one movie you can go for. If these kind of controllings are there, so what happens? Is it okay? No, that is not a good one, huh? So you are having a freedom to which one? This anyone, right? You are having freedom to which one? This anyone, you can say, right? Now rights against which one? Exploitation. Yes. Rights again, right to which one? This is exploited. Right against, it is right to or it is right against? Right against, it is not a right to. Okay, it is not a right to, it is the right against the exploitation, right? So means we should allow the exploitation or we should not allow the exploitation. Suppose if Kavya comes and doing the 100 acres land of Ashutosh Kabja, then is it accepted? That is accepted or that is not accepted? That is not accepted, right? Then Ashutosh is having a right to get back his land, right? Yes, no? So that is not accepted, right? Exploitation, right? If you are constructing your own house with your own money, then anybody can, government will come and say that, hey, yaar, you have to vacate this house and we will set up an office here. It can government say like that? No. Exploitation by the government is not allowed and exploitation by the other private persons also not allowed, you can say. Isn't it? Is it clear? Kavya gayab ho jayegi. Okay. Right, what is that next one? If you just observe, right against exploitation, cultural and educational rights. Yeah, he's saying that if he is giving complaint on you on police station, you will be you will be just escaping, right? You will be like that. Yeah. Yes, that is what. Is it clear? Cultural and this educational rights, right? You can promote your culture, right? Nobody should put restrictions on your culture, and nobody give restrictions on your education, right? Even your father also, mother also cannot say that you have to study up to this point only, right? They cannot. Okay. Right. So next, what is that fifth right you are having? Rights to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of which one? This religion, right? You are allowed to practice your own religion. Okay, you are having right to practice your own religion, right? By force you need not. If anybody is forcing you to practice one religion, you can file a case against him, right? You can file a case against him, right? If anybody is forcing you to, even husband, even parents also cannot force you to only practice this kind of religion, right? They cannot force you, right? You are having the right to practice your own religion, right? That is what. Next, right to which one? Right to constitutional remedies, right? So these are the fundamental rights you are having, right? Next, what is that ninth part of this ninth feature, silent feature, you can say? Directive principles of state policy, right? What is the meaning of this directive principles of this state policy? So I'll tell you one example. What is the directive principles of this state policy? One example. So if you just observe, this uniform civil code is under this directive principles, now many parties saying, right? So this is under this directive principles only, if you just observe, right? So that it has given something, right, in future. Okay, at present situations we are not making it mandatory, but after some time, when time comes, when India becomes self-sustained, you have to yeah, you have to, which one? Yeah, you have to report this, right? Yeah, constitutional remedies, right? What is that constitutional remedies? Okay, first we'll go for this and we'll come back to that, right? Don't worry. So what is that a directive principle, you can say? Is it a compulsion made by this constitution, or it is telling that in at present only you have to do that, or whenever time comes you have to do this? Whenever time comes, right? Whenever time comes you have to incorporate these, right? Whenever time comes, which one? Whenever time comes you have to incorporate this, right? Uniform civil code, if you just observe, right? So what is it, you can say? Whenever just for an example, that uniform civil code, it is under the directive principles of this Indian constitution only. So whenever the right time comes, we implement this UCC, like that. Okay, whenever this right time comes, you implement this one, right? You implement this one, right? You implement this one, right? Like that. So regarding the reservations, regarding the UCC, and regarding many things, these directive principles were there, if you just observe, you can say. Okay, is now. So directive principles of this state policy, right? And a right to constitutional remedies, right? Suppose if your rights are obstructed by anyone, okay? If your rights are obstructed by anyone, when your rights are obstructed by anyone, what you can do? You can approach the courts to get your rights. Okay, understood now? Understood now, Ashutosh? Suppose if any of our rights are violated, we are having many rights now. Yes or no? We are having all these rights now. We are having these rights, right? If any of our rights are violated, right? If any of our rights are violated, so then what we can do? We can approach the courts, right? We can approach the courts to get our rights back, right? We can approach the courts to get which one? to get our rights back, you can say, right? That is what you are having. Is it clear? Now understood? So constitutional remedies. Next, what is another one you are having? Fundamental rights are there, but along with that fundamental duties also there now. Along with that fundamental duties also will be there, right? Each and every citizen will be having this fundamental duties, definitely, right? Got it now? Each and every citizen will be having which one? This fundamental duties, definitely, right? Isn't it? You must be having the duties, definitely, right? You must be having the duties, definitely, right? What are the duties you'll be having? So when these are added, you can say fundamental duties. 11 fundamental duties are there, so I'll be discussing them later. So 11 fundamental duties are there, and added by which constituent amendment? Added by which one? Added as per which one? 42nd, right? 42nd constitutional amendment. Yes, 1976, correct. So before that, what happens now? Everybody was thinking about the rights only. Nobody was performing their duties, right? That is why they thought that they are added here, right? They are added here, right? Is it clear? Now, what is that? Next one, next salient feature, you can say secularism. Secularism, right? So what is that? You can say, but this is not happening in India. What is that secularism? You can say that government should not promote any religion, and government officially should not do anything against any religion, right? That is what. So many things in Indian constitution are contradicting with each other, you can say. Secularism means what? Government should not control any religion, okay? Government should not control any religion, government should not promote any religion, you can say, right? Government officially, right? Like that. So that is where which one? This is secularism, right? Next, emergency provisions are also there, right? So the last salient feature, emergency provisions, if you just observe. So which kind of emergencies are there? So you have to know about this emergency provisions at present. Very important thing, right? Why? Because elections are going on. So what are the different emergencies you are having? Three types of these emergencies you are having, right? What is the first emergency that Indira Gandhi has made? That emergency is what? National emergency. Only one time we were having this one. National emergency, right? Right? National emergency as per which article? Tell me. There are different articles we are having now. As per this article 352, right? You have to remember this, right? As per this article 352, there is a national emergency will be there, right? What is the meaning of this national emergency? Everything will be under control, right? So no rights will be entertained, and no rights, right? Fundamental rights will not be entertained in that time actually, right? Whatever that government says, you have to follow that, right? So, second one, what is it? You can say president's rule. President's rule, right? That is national emergency is for which one? This entire country, na? So this president rule as per which one? As per this which articles? Article 356 and this 365. 356 and this 365, right? So according to these two articles, you can have this president's rule, right? Suppose if at all in any one particular state the law and order is what? It is law and order is not in control, right? Then what you can do? When law and order is not in control, so that elected government, right? The chief minister, ministers, MLAs, MLCs, everybody, the elected government will be suspended and president rule will be implemented. President rule will be implemented means governor will be the highest authority at that time. All authorities or all organizations are supposed to work under which one? This government only. They have to report everything to government. Whatever governor says, sorry, not government, governor. Whatever governor says, that only will be done. Okay. Actually, these governors are which one? Agents, right? These are the agents of this president in the states. Okay. Generally, governors are which one? Governors are which one? Agents of this president in the states, you can say, right? In the states, right? So that what will happen? They will be monitoring. They will be monitoring whether the state government is performing very well or not, right? They are crossing their any limits, right? They are violating any constitutional things, right? Like that. For checking all those things and for monitoring, governor is there. Okay, like that. Is it clear? What is the duty of this governor? So governor will be taking care of all these things, right? Next, what is that? Financial emergency. Yes, financial emergency as per which one? Article 360, absolutely correct. Financial emergency as per which one? This Article 360. So what will happen in this? So we know what we have seen in this national emergency president rule, we know. Financial emergency, what will happen? Financial emergency, what will happen? In the financial emergency, suppose if the state government or this central government becomes bankrupt, means they are distributing more money. Nowadays all the governments are giving more freebies, na, is or no? They'll be telling that after some days, na, they will say that yaar, we will bring food to your plate, only plates will provide, food will provide, and we will feed you also, they will say like that, right? Is na, after some days. And these people like sheep, they will be voting for those people, okay, those who are offering freebies. So whenever who is supposed to pay the entire money? Whenever something is given free, means that should be taken from somewhere, na, yes or no? Just like that, government will not have any money, na, that khazana is not there, right? From somebody it will be taking and it will be giving to somebody else for free, that's it. So finally the taxpayers, right, again your rates will be increased and all these things. Whenever your inflation is not in the control, rates are increased like anything, right? So income is not there for the government, but we will be having which one? This deficit, lot of deficit is there. You cannot run the government money point of view, right? Then what you can do? Then what you can do? Financial emergency will be levied, and all this kind of dearness allowances will be having a DA kind of things for employees, that DAs will be removed, is not? So subsidies will be removed, right? The rates will be fixed, right? Like that, these kind of things will be happening, right? So make sure when you are voting, make sure that these kind of things will not happen, right? So the people will not make the state to that kind of situation, right? 356 and 365 both, right? 356 and this 365 both, right? 356 is the main one. Main representation is done in this 356 actually, right? That if you observe these parties, they will be, these national parties, they will be accusing one another. You have implemented 356 this many times. You have implemented 356 this many times, right? Like that, they will be accusing each other, na, in the news debates you might have seen, right? Like that. So this is these are the salient features of your Indian constitution you are having. Is now? Is it clear now? Now we'll just go for this preamble, then we'll close. Okay, clear? Everything is clear, all of you? Just what are the features in your constitution you are having? Preamble, right? This preamble is based on which one? I told you now, this is object to resolution, right? Object to resolution will be deciding the preamble of this constitution, I said, na? So object to resolution was moved by which one? Jawaharlal Nehru in 1946, right? Based on this object to resolution only, this preamble is formed, right? So means briefly our constitution is having these features, right? That is the meaning of it, right? So that preamble is having which one? Based on these object to resolutions drafted by the Jawaharlal Nehru, what is it you can say? What are the things we are having? India is what? Sovereign country. What is the meaning of this sovereign country? Nobody else is allowed to occupy Indian lands, right? That is a sovereign, right? If we are having any problem for our sovereignty, we can take any action. We can declare war against that particular country, right? Or we can declare war against this particular group, right? Particular people, like that. Okay, that is sovereignty of India is very, very important, right? Next, what is it you can say? Socialist. Socialist. Next, what is another one? Secular. It should be secular government, right? Next, what it should be? Democratic. Secular, democratic, right? So secular already we know, right? Social, sovereign means what? Our lands should be, right? Our lands should be which one? Our lands should be protected, right? Nobody is allowed to separate the country. Any part of country, nobody is allowed to separate, right? If anybody is willing to separate one part of this country from India, one part from India, so then there will be severe action taken against them, right? Sovereignty of India is very, very important, right? That should be given first priority. That socialist means everybody is treated equally, right? Secular means no religion, no official religion for the government, right? So democratic means all people will be who are the rulers will be elected only, or just based on the hereditary they will come. First father, after that son, like that they will come, or they will be elected by the people only. They should be elected by those people only, no? Yes or no? They should be elected by those people only, right? And what is it finally? Republic. Yes, no? What is it you can say? Republic. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, and which one? This is a republic, you can say, if you just observe, right? Is now, is it clear? So socialist, secular, and this integrity are added by which one? They are added later, na? Yes or no? They are added during the emergency by this Indira Gandhi. At that time, this is socialist, secular, and this these are added, you can say, right? Yes, now republic, and also what is it you can say? Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic, justice. Okay. Next, liberty. Next, equality and fraternity. Okay, so these are the things you will be having in which one? These are the things you will be having in which one? This uh, constitutions, right? Like that. So what is the meaning of this? The new words are added, right? Socialist, secular, and integrity added by this later, right? Previously, except these three, all other words are there previously only, right? At the time that Jawaharlal Nehru passed that objective resolution, at that time only other words are there, but this is secular, socialist, and this integrity, these are added later, you can say, right? So what is the meaning of this fraternity? Anyone? What is the meaning of this fraternity? What is the meaning of this fraternity? Sodara Bhavam. Yeah. So you should not try to dominate everybody, right? You should treat everybody which one is equally, right? Integrate, right? You have to treat everybody as your family only, right? Others based on the religion, based on the which one? Caste. You should not discriminate them, right? Based on the financial status, based on the job, you should not show discrimination, right? You should feel everybody is which one is one only, right? Yeah, yes, Sodara Bhavam, right? Brotherhood, yes, correct. Fraternity means what? Brotherhood only, right? That is correct only, right? So these are the general things we are having in our constitution, you can say, okay? So shall we continue this series every week? Every week one class I'll do. So what are the different schedules are there? What are the different parts of this constitution are there? Is now? So shall we continue this? So every week one class I'll do. So just introduction. Is everything clear? Anyone having any doubts in our discussion still now? Anyone having any doubts in our discussion still now? Any doubts anywhere, or is everything is clear? Clear? Okay. Thank you. Thank you all of you. Have a good day. Thank you everyone. We'll meet in the next class again. Thank you.